There is a secret mall in Virginia, but in order to reach it, you have to go to Minnesota. And here in Virginia, Minnesota, is what used to be the Thunderbird Mall, which is nowadays called the very exciting and very original Uptown Mall. I'm going to keep calling it the Thunderbird Mall. So join me as we go for a couple laps here in Thunderbird Mall during the wee hours of the morning. Turns out there was another Thunderbird Mall in Menominee, Wisconsin. We aren't talking about that one though, but it does make newspaper surfing much more painful than it needs to be. In the beginning of 1970, it was announced that Gamble Development Company based out of Minneapolis would develop two malls in the region, one in Hibbing and the other in Virginia known as Thunderbird Mall. Both would formally open on August 11th, 1971, and both would host Red Owl, Woolworth, and Jerry Lewis cinemas, the first two in Minnesota. This would give the Iron Range a more local place to shop, rather than making the journey to Duluth. Herberger's would relocate into the Thunderbird Mall in 1977, having been established in downtown Virginia since 1953, and this would result in the mall being expanded to accommodate the new store on the West End. And unfortunately, this is where my notes kinda dry up. The newspapers showed me that Kmart, while present at the mall, was not an original anchor at all, and I presume they came to replace Woolworth. Red Owl was also not in here forever, and in their place would presumably be Dunham Sports. I can tell you right away that this was not the original look for the mall either. Probably received an update either in the late 80s or early 90s. The mall also had quite a few owners through it years before ending up in Rockstep Capital's lap in 2014. Now, one thing that did come up in the papers though was an incident when a bear broke into the Thunderbird Mall in 1984, which was then shot by the Department of Natural Resources as it displayed aggressive behavior. This is just what's in the paper. Now, things do get a little interesting under Rockstep Capital's ownership, and one of the things they would eventually do is rename the mall to Uptown Mall, or Uptown Virginia. When you realize that almost every mall Rockstep owns is called Uptown XYZ, that's not so interesting. But when Kmart closed up shop in 2016, they announced plans to rebuild the Kmart into something else entirely. That space is now home to Aldi's and Harbor Freight, with a short-lived Tractor Supply predating the latter. Herberger's would go belly up in 2018 thanks to their parent company Bon-Ton, and that space has since been gutted and filled back in by Hobby Lobby. Now, Rockstep phrased this as a demalling of sorts, but we're going into 2025 now, and this place is still very mall. Dead mall, but still mall. Rockstep also made a case to bring more outbuildings to the mall, with Caribou Coffee being the highlight. Today the mall is, well, On the outside, it's doing relatively well with tenants like Hobby Lobby, Dunham's, Aldi's, and Harbor Freight, and the out parcels are doing well enough. But the interior? Well, you got Bath & Body Works, Trade Home Shoes, Pebble Spa, Papa Murphy's, and Cazadores Mexican Restaurant. And there are more businesses listed like Angel Nails, Iron Range Dog Training, Runes and Relics, and Iron Range Apparel. But when the Craft Expo isn't happening, these halls seem a bit empty. I'm not quite sure what Rockstep is planning on going forward, and I'm not sure how much longer this corridor is going to be here. But with Virginia proper having some problems, I can't imagine it's too much longer for the world. A shame too, cause this is one of the cleaner and better maintained malls I've been to, making this otherwise dated interior quite a treat to be in. If I could go off topic for just a moment, Minnesota itself proved to be quite a scenic drive on my run. I didn't spend too much time in Virginia or Hibbing, but driving along through rural expanse, even if some of it is scarred by the ironworks, it was a very scenic experience. So even if you aren't much for small malls, I would encourage a road trip out here. Go see the Iron Man statue near Chisholm. Have a seat at one of Minnesota's 10,000 lakes and witness a sunset. Go walk around some of these small towns with picturesque downtown streets. I did that in Walker. Go find that obscure shack of a restaurant that cooks S-tier food. That one I'm still looking for out here. The whole northern region is kinda pretty for how rural it is, although the flats that manifest as you get closer to North Dakota can get pretty boring. Book your hotels at least a month in advance, however, if you're going to come out here. It can be rather difficult to find lodging during the tourist season. Until next time, Virginia, Minnesota, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you, and the Thunderbird Mall, farewell and good luck in the future.